Okay, so we have already discussed the physical quantities in chapter number 2. So in this chapter, we divide the physical quantities into two main branches, and that are scalar quantities and vector quantities. So what are scalar quantities? Those physical quantities that are completely described by their magnitude and unit only are called scalar quantities, and those physical quantities which require their magnitude, suitable unit as well as direction for their complete description, those physical quantities are called vector quantities. Let us see some examples to clear this point. So students, what we discussed here, that scalar quantities are those physical quantities which are completely defined by their magnitude and suitable unit, are called scalar quantities. For example, time, distance, mass, all these quantities only require their magnitude and suitable unit for the complete description. Let us see some examples of scalar quantities in detail. So students, here we take some examples of scalar quantities. Like if you can see over here that the time is a scalar quantity, and if we describe time, we describe in such a way like 3 minutes. Here 3 is the magnitude and minutes are unit we used. The same way we can say 4 days, we are describing time over here. 4 days is a quantity of time, so it's a scalar quantity. And over here 4 is magnitude and days are unit. This unit can be either SI unit or some other unit as well, but this time is completely defined by these two quantities. We don't need any direction to describe it. The same way mass, if we describe a mass like 3 kilograms, so over here 3 is the magnitude and kilogram is the unit. The same way if we say 50 milligrams, so 50 is magnitude and milligram is unit. So in scalar quantities we only require these two things like magnitude and unit. There is no need for the direction to describe a scalar quantity. So time is a scalar quantity, mass is a scalar quantity. In this way we can describe a scalar quantity only by using its magnitude and suitable unit. Okay, so moving on to the vector quantities, we describe a vector quantity as those physical quantities which are completely defined by their magnitude, unit as well as direction are called vector quantities. Some examples of vector quantities are force, velocity, weight. All these physical quantities are vector quantities because we require some direction for the complete description. Like if I ask you to apply a force on a chair, a force of 5 newtons, so 5 is the magnitude, newton is the unit, but you cannot do so because you need some direction to apply that force. So my description is incomplete. For force I must provide with some direction as well, like 5 newton, backwards, forward, rightwards, leftwards, all these are the directions. The same way velocity is a vector quantity, weight is a vector quantity because the direction of weight is a force which is directed towards the earth, towards the center of the earth. So a vector quantity is one which requires a direction as well for its complete description. So students, here we see some examples of vector quantities, how they have the direction as well in their description. Like if we say we have a force, we describe a force like 5 newton forward. If you are applying a force on a chair of 5 newtons, then you must have a direction to apply that force. Let's say for instance that force in the forward direction. So that's why force is a vector quantity, because it has some magnitude, unit as well as direction for its complete description. Displacement is also a vector quantity. Why? Because we describe a displacement quantity like 300 meters north. A person has displaced 300 meters in north, so north over here is a direction. It's a unit of direction. It's a representation of a direction. A direction can also be represented in some degrees, like in the next example we have a car has displaced 4 kilometers 30 degrees. This 30 degree can be from the west direction, from north, east or south, but this angle is also a representation of a direction. So displacement is a vector quantity because it has a direction for its complete description. Same way velocity, if a plane is moving, we say like a plane is moving with a velocity of 30 meters per second, but it is incomplete description because we must add some direction to it. Let's say the direction is west. A plane is moving 30 meters per second in the west direction, then this will be a vector quantity and that will be velocity. Without this direction, it will be a scalar quantity. The scalar quantity for this thing is speed. This is the difference between speed and velocity. Speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. Students, here is a comparison of scalar quantities and vector quantities. So the difference between both are given here. Those quantities completely defined by magnitude and unit only are scalar quantities, and those quantities completely defined by magnitude, unit as well as direction are called vector quantities. Some examples of the scalar quantities are length, mass, time, speed. All these quantities are independent of direction, so all these are scalar quantities. The same way we have vector quantities. Some examples are force, weight, velocity, displacement and so on, and all these quantities must have some direction for the complete description. That's why all these quantities are vector quantities. So students, now moving on to the next part of our lecture is the representation of a vector. So we have two types of representation of a vector. The first one is general representation and the second one is graphical representation. Let's see how a vector is generally represented. A vector is generally represented by an alphabet. The same way we give a symbol to force. The symbol of force is F. The symbol of mass is M. But here what we add an arrow on that symbol. So if we are representing a vector quantity, we must add this arrow on the symbol. Like if we are describing the velocity, so the symbol for that will be V with an arrow. The arrow can be of this type or of this. You can use both, but generally we represent a vector with this arrow. This is a general representation of a vector. Now we will see how we represent a vector graphically. So students, here we see how we represent a vector graphically because it has some direction, so we must know how to represent a vector on a piece of paper and how to draw it. So we use an arrow for the graphical representation of a vector. A vector is represented graphically by an arrow where tail of the arrow, this is the tail which represents the magnitude and unit, and head represents the direction. A vector is graphically represented by an arrow. This is the symbol arrow, where this tail represents the magnitude and unit like 3 meters, 400 meters per second. That will be represented by the tail, and the head of this arrow will represent the direction where the vector is going, where the force is applied, what is the direction of the velocity. So all the vector quantities can be represented graphically by using this arrow. Let us see some examples. Okay students, so here we have an example of a vector. We have to draw a vector graphically, and the question is force of 50 Newton in the east direction. We have to draw a vector to represent this force of 50 Newton in the east direction. So first of all we have to set a scale, and in scale, because we cannot draw a line of 50 centimeters from our scale onto a piece of paper, so we must set some suitable scale. So here I used 1 centimeters equal to 10 Newton. So for me 1 centimeter on my scale will represent 10 Newton force. It means 5 centimeter line will represent 50 Newtons. So this will be the magnitude of my vector of this force. Now for the direction, I have a reference scale over here for the direction north, east, south, west. You can memorize it by never eat shader wheat. There is a saying, never eat shader wheat. So these are the reference for direction. Let's say I start to draw my vector from here. This is the starting point of my vector. So what will be the length of the tail? Because I have to represent a force of 50 Newton and I have set the scale 50 Newtons equals to 5 centimeter. So I will draw a line of 5 centimeter, but in which direction should I go? Over here we have to draw this vector in the east direction. So over here the east direction is right sides. So I will draw a line of 5 centimeters with the help of my scale. Obviously I cannot use scale on a whiteboard, but in your copies you have to use a scale. So let's say this is a 5 centimeter line and this arrow, because it's going in the east direction, so this is the representation of this vector. This is a vector representing a force of 50 newtons. You can write 5 centimeter over here, or you can also write 50 newtons, and it's going in the east direction. The same way you can draw any other vectors of velocity, weight, and all other vector quantities. So this is the method to represent, this is the graphical representation of a vector. So students, here you can see another example to represent a vector graphically, and the question is we have to represent a displacement of 25 meters in 30-degree direction. So first of all we have to set a scale. Okay students, so that's it for today, and I hope you all are clear now what are scalar quantities and vector quantities and how we represent a vector graphically and generally. So what will be the topics for the next lesson? We will learn how to add vectors, like we add some scalar quantities, like we add time. 3 minutes and 4 minutes will be equal to 7 minutes. The same way we can use the addition for the vectors as well. We add vectors as well, and we will discuss the different cases and techniques for the addition of vectors. Till then, thank you. So students, here we have another example of how to represent a vector graphically, and the question is we have to represent a displacement, which is obviously a vector quantity, a displacement of 25 meters in 30-degree direction. So in this question we have given the direction in terms of degrees, so we don't need a reference scale of direction north, east, south, west over here. So first of all we set a scale. Let's say I represent 1 centimeter of my scale equals to 5 meter of the question given. So 5 centimeters will be equal to 25 meters. So for the representation of 25 meters vector, we have to draw a line of 5 centimeter. Let's say I start from here. This is the starting point. So I have to draw a line of 25 meters? No. Obviously I cannot draw a line of 25 meters. It's long enough. So that's why I have set a scale, and we have to draw a line of 5 centimeter, which is representing 25 meters of the vector. But in which directions we have to move? We have to move in the direction of 30 degrees. We always calculate the angle from this x-axis, this horizontal, we call it horizontal or x-axis, and we use a D to make an angle of 30 degree. I am making it randomly. You have to use a D protector for this, and we draw a line of 5 centimeter. This is the direction of displacement. This is just a reference line. So this is 30 degrees, and this is the required vector. This is the vector of displacement of 30 degrees, which magnitude is, either you can write 25 meter over here, or you can also write 5 centimeter, because in the scale it is given 5 centimeter is equals to 25 meter. So I hope now it's clear how to represent a vector graphically. We must have to set a suitable scale and use some suitable direction.